Hey everybody, get on in here. I'm on my back deck with my tea. No special cup today. Well, it is kind of special. I went to Napa Valley once upon a time with Justin's mother-in-law. We had a big time. Flybaby took us on a tour. We went to Behringer's, which has a huge tree on their property. You can see turn it around. You can see a little bit of it there. So it's a memory of going to that winery and just enjoying a day with a friend and having a good time. We got a good view today. Look at that view. Get on in here, everybody. It's tea time. Robert's in the treehouse. I'm trying to be quiet, but I bet he can still hear me. Ooh, it's hot. It's about 70 degrees out here. Oh, I forgot something. Hold on, I'll be right back. I got a present today. And I'm not gonna run. Running's not good. Here we go. Everybody in here yet? A nice lady sent me a prayer shawl. Isn't it beautiful? I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. And on a cool day, I can come out here with my prayer shawl on and have tea time. So thank you so much. Anyway, it's a butterfly stitch, y'all. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a butterfly stitch. It's too hot to drink. I feel like Goldilocks out here. Too hot, too cold. I don't know why my screen gets dark on my phone. I've got to look at some settings on that. Anyway, I told you this morning that I was going to discuss the Sacramento bee. Yeah, I've done thousands of interviews over the years. I mean, when you think about 20 years, and there's always somebody trying to get organized or figure out how to get organized. And I got a call one time, an email, and I called them back, from a lady who was at the Sacramento Bee. And she wanted to know, about getting organized. And so I started to tell her that I establish habits, string them into routines, and those routines become habits, and those habits change our lives. And she says, well, give me an example. I said, well, I get up in the morning, and I said, my house practically cleans itself with these routines. And she says, well, that's just a bold-faced lie. And I said, what do you mean? She says, your house doesn't clean itself. And, well, you just don't call this Southern girl a liar. She wants to see the whole shawl. It's a triangle. And I don't even know if I had it on right, but yeah, it's a triangle. Anyway, so she called me a bold-faced liar. And that did not set well with me, I'm telling you. It never does. And so I questioned her. And I said, "Well, what's your desk look like?" And she says, "Well, it's kind of messy right now." And I usually tell them that they need to clean their desk off before they call me back. But I didn't do that this time. And so I started explaining my routines. You get up in the morning, your feet hit the floor, and you make your bed as soon as you get up. And she stopped me and she said, "Well, I've been doing that for 30 years." I said, "See, you already know. It's automatic for you." And so that shut her up. It just shut her up. So isn't it pretty? It's just pretty. Just gorgeous. Anyway, I'm happy to have it. It will remind me to pray. And, praying is just getting in touch with God. Just pick up the phone and call Him. And if you don't know how to pray, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can pray. Just talk to God like you talk to your Father. Hey, Sandy. Anyway, drink up. But now I want to talk to you about something else. When you're feeling depressed, you're kind of stuck in a rut. In a rut that's not working well for you. And we hide behind closed doors. We pull the shades down. We don't let any light in. In fact, I caught my friend just today. I said, "I imagine you are in a dark room with no light." She said she was going to go for a walk, and I said, "Okay, I want you to send me a picture of some flowers." She knew exactly what I was doing. Accountability, she said. I said, "Yeah, you called me." And so she was going to go for a walk and get out in a sunbeam. I said, "Wear no sleeves so you can get some sun on your arms and on your face." And it just feels good to get some sun on you. But let the sun shine in, because when you're in a dark place, you want everything around you dark. My assistant for many years, Michelle, she used to work at Johns Hopkins, and she worked in the oncology unit. And she knew when one of the patients was getting ready to leave this earth, because they didn't want their blinds pulled open. They just wanted to be in the dark. And that's just so sad. So sad. And when you feel yourself wanting to seclude and push people away, that's your cue to get out into the world and do something. Do something useful for somebody else. So get out into the world, take a walk around the block, find somebody to talk to. And one of the things you've got to do is take your supplements. You've got to take care of you, because if you don't take care of you, who will? Take your supplements. Get your vitamin levels checked at your doctor. Take care of you. The birds are peaceful, and so is my little wind chime. So is my little wind chime. So getting dressed to lace up shoes, it gets you energized. If it does nothing else, it will get you energized. I hear a bird somewhere. Anyway, the birds really do like the suet. There's the cardinal. He's headed this way. Mr. Cardinal's headed this way. I wonder where Mrs. Cardinal is. They're usually together. He's on the deck right over there. He likes to be made. He likes for me to see him. Yes, I do love it. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Sandrae. Oh, there's another bird. Mm. It's a nice little breeze out here. Wind chimes and tea. Is there any better combination? And we have a hunting cat. The cat tried to get the bird. He was asleep under the chair, faking like he was asleep. Hmm. Wow, it feels good out here. The trees are getting a little bit of green on them. That bird's fussing. That's a fussy bird. Next time I do a show out here, I put peanuts on the rail. I got 25 pounds of peanuts the other day, and the birds are loving them. We got a crow that puts 3 of them in his mouth, and he picks and chooses the ones because it's only a certain combination where he can get 3 in his mouth, and he does it. He really does it. We've watched him do it 2 or 3 times. So when you feel yourself wanting to stay in a dark hole, that is your little cue to get up and do something. Get out of the house, get into a sunbeam, maybe just sit on your front porch or your back porch just for a few minutes. This is lovely. Just lovely. Can't get enough of this. We don't have our hummingbird feeders out, although I have seen one because we have a plant and they come to the plant. We have a clematis in a pot, and it is a happy clematis. It's been there for years. Makes me happy. It's a good day in the neighborhood. Mm-mm-mm. So this morning, when I turned on my computer, I have I have words, vocabulary words that come across. Yeah, it's like going to school at my house. I'm always wanting to learn something new. And I I looked at this word, and it said horn book. And it was something that was published in the 14th century, 1450, something like that. And it was a primer, and it had like the ABCs. It had capital A and a small a. It also had the 23rd Psalm. It may have had other things on it, but I don't know what it was. But it made me think about putting together a control journal for different things, like having to do with your health. Let's just say you have a headache. Let's start at the top of our heads. You have a headache. Well, what do you do when you have a headache? Well, first thing you want to do is stop the headache, but not necessarily. I want you to figure out why you have a headache. Now, with my son, he eats an aged cheese, and that'll trigger a migraine for him. I've never really had a headache, that I can remember. I don't have headaches, but Justin does. And there goes the hawk. I just saw the hawk fly through the trees. But one of the reasons you have a headache sometimes is because you get dehydrated. So I had a nurse that taught me that when you have a headache, to drink 16 ounces of water at one time. That's a lot of water. Don't drink much more than that. And that flush of water into your system is going to help expand your capillaries. Another thing you can do is drink a strong cup of coffee. Not one with a bunch of sugar, black coffee, strong coffee. That'll help. That'll also help with having breathing issues. If you feel like you're going into asthma and you can't find your inhaler, drink a strong cup of coffee. Stay calm and drink a strong cup of coffee. Another reason for headaches is sinus infection. Sinus infection will cause you to have a headache. Sinus headaches are bad, I'm told. I'm not really allergic. I've only been allergic to something one time when I got off a plane in Salt Lake City. Whatever was blooming at that point in time caused my eyes to start pouring as if was crying, and I wasn't crying. I had to take a Benadryl. But figure out what's going on, why the headache's there. And if you can't get rid of it with the water, you might have to take some Advil or something. So let's work down our body. Say you got a stiff neck. What caused yourself to have a stiff neck? Did you sleep wrong on your pillow? Do you need a new pillow? I suggest my pillow if that's what I sleep with, and I love that thing. Robert's pillow gave up the ghost a few weeks ago, and I gave him my big travel pillow because I haven't been traveling lately, and he loved it. He loved it. And just go through the steps, triage what's going on with you. Is your hand hurting? Do you have a thumb that hurts? Well, I had a friend a few weeks ago that had to start wearing a splint. They wanted to do surgery on her thumb. But guess what? It was her cell phone thumb. Scrolling on your cell phone, doing things thumbs aren't meant to do. If you'll just isolate that thumb for a while and use your finger or something else, you might stop that pain. Does your knee hurt? Are you sitting on your knee wrong? Or have you twisted it some way? They did a test one time. They pretended like they were going to do surgery on somebody's knee. They knocked them out like they were going to do the surgery, but all they did was immobilize the knee and make noise. They weren't really out, but they were out enough that they didn't know whether they had surgery or not, and they were told to stay off of it and immobilize it. Well, other people were told to stay off their knee, and they both healed. One of them had the surgery, and other one had a surgery, and they did it to several people, and they both healed. There's Jenny. I was thinking about Jenny the other day. Jenny lives in Rosman. So triage the things. Do you have lower back pain? What's the lower back pain from? Have you been picking up too much? And learn to scoot things with your thighs and your big muscles in your legs and not your back. Don't pick things up with your back. Change what you're doing. But also, lower back pain could be kidney infection coming on. Are you drinking your water? There's a bird. I see you. What have you done? What have you not done? Somebody said wearing her shoes really helped her knee pain. Yes, it does. And here's why. When you go barefoot and you have high arches, your feet sometimes turn inward, which if you look at a leg and you've got the feet down here, the angles get all messed up. So your angle on your knee is going to be different and the angle on your hip is going to be different. People who have to wear clutches or walk with a cane sometimes injure their hips because of problems. So look at the difference. Look, put your shoes on and you can see. And then, another symptom, if you've got cracked heels from not wearing shoes, you put on your shoes and socks. In 3 months' time, your feet are going to be a different, whole different character because they're no longer going to be cracked and hurting. I used to have cracked heels. I never have them anymore. I have baby feet. Oh, by the way, baby Beckett pulled her little nose thing. She had some oxygen going down to her lungs, and she pulled it out. And they left it out, and she's just so much easier now. And she's gaining weight, and we get to see her weight chart. So she's like a pound and a half now. So it won't be long till she'll be coming home to her mama and daddy and her big sister. I am so excited. She's just a beauty. God has great plans for this young'un. Yep, posture's another thing somebody says. So take some time today to think about. I had to tell Liz this the other day. Every April, she gets a sinus infection. She's having an allergy attack from something going on out in the world. And she's been painting her house and fixing up her house and just enjoying being outside. But she got a sinus infection, and that'll put you down. I mean, it's rough. Sinus headaches, everything to do with that. And I said, put it on the calendar, Liz, that every April you start taking an antihistamine to block this allergic reaction that you're having. Because Liz can have some asthma problems. And so she says, that's so smart. And I said, every April I'm going to put it on my calendar to remind you to take your antihistamine. So I don't know what brand. Southwest Missouri. Yeah, I wish it was about 4 inches longer, and then I could do something with it. I can't do anything with it right now. It's at that stage where it won't stay turned under. It just won't do anything but flip up. But I'm thankful I've got body. So every April, if you know you're going to have hay fever, then do something about it. You don't have to take it all year long. You just have to remember and take care of yourself. Let's see. If you know you get heartburn from a certain food, the last time, this is a funny story, y'all. Rebecca has a friend who has the Cardinal Drive-In here in town, and they are having a hard time finding help during COVID. And so Rebecca started going in early in the morning and making the onion rings. And Rebecca hates onions. She can't stand it. She doesn't cook with onions, and she probably never will. But she would go in and do the onions. Well, the other night we decided we wanted a hamburger, but we didn't want any onion rings. So I called it in, and Robert goes and picks it up, and Rebecca sends me a text. did you want some onion rings? And I said, if we're going to skip the onion rings this time, we've been having an issue with the heartburn. She says, I totally understand. But they knew what we always ordered. We always ordered 2 hamburgers and 2 bags of onion rings. And they're good onion rings. But we decided to cut back on them, and then Rebecca had to check with me to see why we didn't get our onion ring, if the person who took our order had messed up, because she knew we've always ordered that. So it's good to know. It's good to have people who know you well enough to know that you want onion rings. Well, last time we decided to just get 1 bag of onion rings between us and not 2. So we split them, which was, we didn't have heartburn. Didn't have any heartburn with them. Well, I'm glad Marianne caught us live today. We're here every day at 3 o'clock. Set an alarm on your phone. Don't count on Facebook or Twitter or Facebook or YouTube to tell you we're live. Just don't do it. Because just show up and start waiting on me at 3 o'clock and at 11 o'clock. It's more fun that way. You can be first in line. Thanks for the stars, everybody. I'm going for some more rocking chairs on the front porch that are mahogany, that look like these but not red. So folks, triage your own self. That's how you get to, you're getting to know your body. If you have a sore throat, it's sometimes sinus drainage that's gotten lodged in your throat overnight. You cough that stuff up and you get rid of that sore throat. You know, use some nose spray, just saline nose spray, and it works. Well, any show that you've missed, it's available lots of places. It's available on Facebook. It's available on YouTube. It's available on Podbean, Locals, BitChute, and Brighteon. I put it everywhere. And it's on Apple Podcasts, but you can't see. It's not really video. It's just audio there. Well, y'all have a great rest of the day. I can just talk forever out here. And I get to be in a sunbeam. There's the chime. So start learning little things about your body. Look things up. Look up old wives' remedies. Mountain remedies. There's always a remedy for something. Sometimes it's just plain old salt water. Gargle with salt water. Y'all have a good rest of the day. What's for dinner? This is just pleasant. Get out and get some nature. Yeah, everybody needs a little nature. It'll get you grounded back again. Be thankful for the trees and the flowers and the birds and the bees. Crows and hawks and chickadees, hummingbirds, cardinals. It's just a lovely day. Go outside and experience. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow morning.